Let's get started with our next talk. For the next talk, we have Iskandar, who will talk about personalized assistance in Python. Give him a warm welcome, please.
Okay, thank you. So today I will talk about one of my side project. It is called building a customized personal assistant with Python. So this, by the way, this is my first PyCon, so please be gentle. Yeah, my name is Iskandar Setiadi, and I'm currently working here in Japan, HZ in Shibuya. And my hometown is Jakarta, Indonesia, and I've just graduated from my university about 2 years ago. In case you are wondering where Indonesia is, probably you know a place called Bali, so I gave you the map there. So why Python? First, I started learning Python about 3 years ago when I had an internship in this company, HD. And Python is very easy to learn and the community is nice. That photo is actually taken around the end of last year. And I think almost all of those people are here today. So the thing is, it's a new year. So I got like bored and thinking, what can I do in my side time? So I decided to create my own assistant, which called Merchant. Yeah, this is the architecture of the Merchant. A user could connect to the user interface from Facebook Messenger or from the Facebook desktop apps because I'm using the Facebook Messenger bot. And there are several features from the Merchant. It has chatbot, it has automatic translator, it has a trend status, it has RSS aggregator, and it has image worker, which is probably not for everyone, but it's very useful for me. This is the reason that why I decided to choose to use Facebook Messenger. First, because Facebook Messenger is multi-platforms, you could build and develop your bots and your user basically could use it anywhere. And you don't need to develop your own client-side interface. So in iOS and Android, you have Facebook Messenger. In web browser, you have Facebook Canvas. And Facebook has a huge number of users. It has more than 1 billion users, which allow us to share our bots with our friends or other people to use our bots. Okay, the first one is deep learning for images. Have anyone here ever tried to run deep learning for images? Okay, so deep learning for images is like very slow, and it's quite impossible to run deep learning for images in mobile phone, right? So, but there are a lot of cool libraries out there. For example, primitive. It could convert an image to the basic primitive form, which is shown like that. There's also deep photo style transfer. So you have an input image, you have a style image, and it will gives you a very fascinating image at the right side. So the thing here is the deep learning is very hard to run on mobile phones. And the configuration, the initial setup is usually very complicated. For example, when I try to run a deep learning library, it requires like Cafe, Tor, and if it has CUDA backend, it needs another libraries, which is very complicated. So the idea here is configure once, execute everywhere. You only need to configure your deep learning in your mobile server, and then you could send the result to, for example, if I have some images that I want to process, I just send it to my bot, and my bot will process that at the backend and gives the result to me. So, yeah, sorry, probably the resolution is a bit broken here. So I could basically, wait a minute. I could generate a GIF image from my bot. So if I send an image here and I need to wait about 5 minutes or so, I get the results as a GIF image. Another case is daily lesson. Yeah, it's about learning basic Japanese. Have you ever like lived in Japan and started to think, okay, I should learn some basic Japanese? But the problem is there are a lot of kanji, there are a lot of vocabularies that you need to learn, which is yeah, I need to find a way how to learn all of those kanji like every day. So initially, I prepare the data. It has an Excel files which contains all of the language proficiency materials from N1 to N4. And after that, I retrieved the data using the Python CSV native module. I could read it and I could parse the data. And after that, I create a daily scheduler to send me like daily vocabulary, daily kanji to the bot. And I said I want to learn, for example, language proficiency N2. And yeah, this is the example result. It gives me like today kanji is niru, hiru, which means becoming, resembles, or kantan, which means easy or simple, something like that. The next one is automatic translation. Yeah, this is basically very similar with Google Translate, except I created the language mapping, which I often use. So for example, if I want to translate something from my language, Bahasa Indonesia, it will give the result in Japanese. If I want to translate something from English, it will give the result in Japanese. And if I want to translate something from Japanese language, it will give the result from in English. So for example, I said here I want to translate my name is Iskandar. It will return the Japanese form, watashi no namai wa Iskandar desu. Or I could specify I want to translate my name is Iskandar to bahasa. It will give the translation nama saya Iskandar. And by default, if it cannot detect whether it's Indonesian language, English language, or Japanese language, it will give the translation in English, something like that. And yeah, this is more examples. For example, like translate, I am going to PyCon to Nihongo. Yeah, it will give the Japanese translations. For this one, I'm using a translate shell library, which is open source and anyone can also use it. And from the Python, I'm using the shlex for the simple lexical analysis. So for example, if I have a sentence translate, I am going to PyCon to Nihongo. This native shlex will parse it to translate I'm going to PyCon to Nihongo. So you could do the text analysis to each keywords, which is in its simplest form from the lexical analysis tools here. This is, yeah, more codes, and let's skip that one. The next one is train status. Before I came to Japan, I have no problem with train, except after I live in Japan. Because, yeah, sometimes the train here stop, has some troubles or accidents, which is very annoying. For example, see the top image is okay, I think. For example, there's a Denentoshi line status object prepare to resume operation because some problems happens. So in the previous feature, I've already created the automatic translation, which is actually pretty helpful to translate this kind of messages in other features. And how to do this is basically the combination of requests and Beautiful Soup to parse the HTML page and the automatic Google translation that I created previously. So it's very simple. It's only like 5 lines here. Import request from BS4, import Beautiful Soup, retrieve the page, and you already get the content. It's as simple as that. And I think no bot is complete without chatbot, right? So at some point, I decided to add a simple chatbot feature. So yeah, for example, yeah, this chatbot is basically learning from users' input. So some of my friends, they try to make the bot looks more stupid. For example, like I know how old are you? The answer is over 9,000 or something like that. And you could also create a customize. You could train your chatbot to learn. For example, what is your name? It will answer like my name is Mechan. I know this. This is how it works behind. I'm using a library called Chatterbot. So when you give it an input, for example, wait, what is your name? It will try to match the input to the closest match. So in this case, is what is your name? And after that, it will use the logic adapter to find which response is actually the best. it tries to find the best match, or you could even implement your own logic adapter to parse the text. And it decided to answer it with, my name is Mechan Nanodes. Yeah, this is quite the same. I decided to train the chatbot to learn cross language. So for example, selamat pagi means good morning, which will give the same response if you type mat pagi, which is the simplified version of selamat pagi in bahasa. So here, using mat pagi as a closest match to selamat pagi, and it will decide it, the best response is using good morning to you too. To use Chatterbot, it's pretty easy. You only need to do pip install Chatterbot, and to train it, you could do something like chatbot.train, chatterbot.corpus.english. It's the default corpus for learning. And after that, for example, if you say get response, hello, how are you today? It will give the response, I am doing well. So for the custom corpus, I could create my own custom corpus for training the chatbot. So for the trainer, it could actually learn from the Twitter API or from Ubuntu Dialog Corpus. And for the output adapter, you could actually send the data to other framework, for example, Microsoft Bot Framework, if you know. And for the storage, it could use MongoDB, a simple JSON file, or even SQL Alchemy. And when I'm training this chatbot, I'm using several corpus, such as Bahasa Indonesia corpus, English corpus, and the customized one, made corpus. The next one is RSS aggregator. This is actually very simple. You subscribe to, for example, XKCD, and you get the RSS, which is similar to other bots, but yeah, it's more fun if you could do that integrated to your own bot, right? To do this is also easy. PIP install feed parser, and you could do that in 5 lines. Import feed parser.parse the URL, and you get the response and store it in your DB. And as a bonus, I also implemented the daily greetings. So basically, it will say like good morning or good night at a certain time, which makes your bot more fun. Okay, so let's go to the detail how to configure the messenger bot. Okay, so first, to configure the messenger bot, you need to choose the page, and after that, it will give you an access token that you can use. And after that, you connect the webhook. This is the callback URL for for example, you send a chat to your chatbot, and it will send those texts to the webhook that you set. And after that, yeah, but sorry, the resolution is a bit broken, but yeah, can you see it clearly? First, I create the virtual environment for Python, and after that, I pip install PyMessenger, and after that, I run the Python console, and is it clear? Yeah, and I retrieve the page access token that is shown in the Facebook Facebook page before. Recipient ID is my Facebook ID, which is used here, and then I create the PyMessenger object from PyMessenger.bot, import bot. After that, I try to get the access token, create the bot, and after that, try to send the message to the. Okay, so probably it's easier to show it, I guess. Yeah, probably it's easier to show it here, but it's also broken, the UI. Wait a minute. Let me figure out how to show it. Okay. So for example, yeah, I could, like, for example, I'm trying testing the chatbot here, like, good morning. Yeah, it will answer it with Ohio or something like that. So basically, that's how it works. And the lesson learned. First, Facebook bot has a 20 seconds timeout, which means after Facebook sends you a message to your webhook, you need to give a response in 20 seconds. Otherwise, it will try to send you again and again until a response is given. The second point is about time zone handling, which is very important when you want to develop a bot, because your user will live all across the world, and you cannot do that in one time zone. In Facebook Messenger bot, you can add your friends as the application tester. So before releasing your bot, you could invite your friends to try your bot. And the last point is actually very important. Users are prone to make mistakes and don't ever trust your user input for learning, especially for chatbot. There's also other possibilities which you can do with Messenger bot. Other people tries to integrate Facebook Messenger with location with Yelp, which gives a restaurant recommendation. So you send the coordinate to the bot, and the bot will give a response with the which restaurants are located near you. There's also other location-aware features that you can develop to your bot. For example, you could also integrate weather forecast to your bot, or you could do IoT integration to your bot. For example, you have air conditioner in your house and you want to turn it on or off remotely. And you could also improve the chatbot learning from a lot of providers like Facebook. They have with AI, IBM they have Watson, Google has Google Cloud Speech, Microsoft has Louis, and Amazon has Amazon Lex. So yeah, start building your own bot now. It's fun and you could learn a lot of things, and there's a lot of open source community out there that you can easily use, easily integrate to your app. And for the closing, actually this slide is available at my website, freedomofkema.com/PyConGP 2017. So if you cannot see the slide clearly, you can access the website and see it in your own PC. And for the project itself, I hosted it in GitHub, freedomofkema/messenger-mate-chan. And thank you for your attention. Sorry for the broken resolution.
Thank you, Iskandar. We have a few minutes for questions, if anybody has questions for Iskandar.
Anyone?
Or if you have a question for the bot, I think we can also do that.
Thank you for your talk. Thank you for your.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Currently, I only build the translators especially for Tokyo since I'm living in Tokyo. But ideally, yeah, if that's why I'm saying here, build your own customized, personalized bot, because if you live in other country, probably the things that you need is totally different from what I need here. In here, I need a status from train, but in other countries, probably you need the status for bus or for public transportation, such as like Uber, Grab, or something else. So currently, it's only for train status in Tokyo. Thank you. Merchant personality like it's actually okay. It should be Sundere, but a lot of friends try to chat with the merchant, and yeah, it's a bit broken right now because the data set is how do you say it? Polluted. Okay, any other question? Yeah. He asked about the personality. Yes. So the chatbot itself, chatterbot here, the chatterbot store the data in MongoDB. So initially, when I want to run the bot, I train it with the basic corpus. And after that, it will try to remember its conversation it has with other people and update its knowledge DB here. Hmm. Yeah. So for example, if one people chat to the chatbot and another people chat to the chatbot, they probably get the response from what it learned from the other people. Yeah. Ideally. Ah, the Japanese word right now is actually a daily lesson, so it only sends you one vocabulary, one kanji per day. Actually, it's pretty useful to learn when you want to learn the basic language, since there's only like 100 kanji or so. But it's not that useful if you want to learn like the highest proficiency level, because there's thousands kanji out there.
Okay, thank you, Iskandar. Next up, we have a break until 3:40. So I think there's going to be refreshments downstairs. If anybody here is giving a lightning talk tonight, please go to the help desk now during the break. Thank you.